Yo guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about whether or not you should get a new Doberman puppy going into the New Year's. Okay, so first off, my Doberman's name is Donatello and he's about 17 and a half months old. He's going to be turning 2 on May 23rd. Okay, so first off, the breed itself is German and its original breeder was Carl Friedrich Louis Doberman. And basically he was a tax collector that was looking for a very intimidating looking dog to make rounds with him. And so he went and gathered a bunch of dogs. I can't tell you what dogs are mixed in there, the original one. But yeah, so he ended up with what the original Doberman looked like, which was very far and distinct from what we have today. Fast forward to modern day, and now we have two different types of Dobermans, one being American Doberman Pinscher and second being European Doberman Pinscher. Now your main differences are going to be that the American Doberman's just small overall, so it weighs less, it's less tall, less muscular. But it has a longer neck, so I'll put two pictures of them side by side here, so you can clearly tell that the European Doberman is a little bit bigger, more muscular, more intimidating looking, whereas the American Doberman is just sleeker looking. Me personally, I went with the American Doberman. There really wasn't any European Dobermans, I want to say, where I was living at the time. I could have them shipped over to where I was living, but that just didn't seem feasible at the time, so I ended up choosing the American Doberman. Now I'm going to explain a little bit of my experience with my dog and then give a brief overview about the whole dog breed itself in general, what you can expect from each Doberman. Unfortunately, the way we received our dog was he was already cropped, so that means dog tail and cropped ears. And yeah, so we received him when he was about 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks old. It was pretty hard at first because we had never had any experience with ear molds that you have to put on his ears so that they stay upright once they're cropped for up to 6 to 12 months, so basically a year. And yeah, so that was I want to say that was the trickiest part of him coming home, basically just having to understand the ear things because they would constantly fall out. So I would be doing it like maybe three times a day, and then once I found out how to actually the best thing that could hold up the best for the longest time, it would last for about 4 days. I had a hard time deciding on which actual pup to get because the breeder had shown me a couple, but I ended up going with the one that she said was the most energetic and fast learning and docile. And it was exactly as I expected. His behavior was perfect for, I want to say, the first 3 months, so everything was going fine. He was a super fast learner. I think about maybe 14 weeks old he was already learning his commands, his basic commands, so sit down, shake, so all that stuff he had already nailed down about 14 weeks, which is just crazy because my other dogs still struggle to even shake nowadays. Throughout the first couple months, despite me taking him out when at the right times and everything, he did still have accidents in the house, which is acceptable because pretty much every dog you're gonna have to deal with that just the first couple months you own that dog. And after that, I want to say about when he was about 3 months old, that he just completely learned to. The way I train him was that I would take him out to the exact same spot in the backyard every single time. And after a lot of times, he just got that stuck in his head. That little corner in the backyard was his little spot where he could just relieve himself. With socialization, I kind of had an advantage because I do have 4 other dogs, and 3 of them are large breed dogs. So he did have a lot of interactions just growing up with his other dogs. Now I was lucky to have a big backyard, but I could see how if you didn't have a big backyard throughout the first couple months, or just a big open space where the dog can exert himself, how it could be very tricky to tire him out. They're not on the top 10 most active dog breeds for no reason. But despite that, if you can manage to, because you don't need backyards, you don't need none of that, you just need to find a way. Sometimes just maybe instead of a 30-minute fetch, if you have a big backyard or a big space available close to you, maybe, I don't know, an hour-long session of just hide and seek throughout your apartment or wherever you live. Just basically him having to run back and forth and look for you. That mental games tire the dog way more than anything else can. But once you get through the first whole complete 14 months is when it starts to get good. if you can manage to get past those 14 months, because a lot of dog owners with these large dog breeds, they get it. They think it's just going to be too hard. Their dog's too energetic. It's just running around in circles. It's scratching doors. It's doing this, that, all of that all that just, and they end up giving the dog away or worse. But if you manage to get past those 14 months and you put in the effort, you train your dog, you play with him every single day, whether it's the 2 hours of long walking in general that can be split up to 30 minutes 4 times a day, whatever you want to do, or just a 30-minute fetch session if you have that available for yourself. But once you get past those 14 months, you can expect a completely different dog. I think the only positive thing to have come out of the pandemic starting last year is that I got to spend way more time with my Doberman. I don't even think I would have gotten him if it wasn't for the pandemic, because I just had so much spare time. I dedicated all my time to my dog, which I can't say everybody can, but I would spend all day, so I got him super trained. He can do every command off leash, walk off leash, run off leash, everything. You can imagine I don't do that because it is legal in certain states. Caution and everything, and just safety in general, I don't let him off leash, but he can, so that's good to know. The first year is going to be tough, regardless of what you do, what your training plan, even if you're exercising your dog completely, it's just tough. Now, what can you expect from an actual fully grown Doberman? I like to compare the Doberman to other dog breeds like the German Shepherd, the Labrador Retriever, because if you take the looks away, really at its heart is the Doberman is exactly like those dogs. I'll say this, the Doberman has a good owner and is exercised and is trained right, properly and everything. You can expect the similar dog to German Shepherd, Labrador Retriever, because at its base, that's what a Doberman is. It's just a scarier looking Labrador Retriever to me, because I've had Labs, I've even had a German Shepherd before, and they're super similar, all those dog breeds. You can expect, if it's trained right, a super protective, but not. The Doberman, when paired with the right owner, is one of the best dogs, period. If you meet the dog's demands, you're gonna have one of the best dogs ever. What these demands are is exercise, socialization, training, and exercise. And they're not called Velcro dogs for anything. Like, you can go anywhere you are, your dog's gonna be with you. You can guarantee. If you go to the bathroom, even if you shut your door closed, for example, I manually close my door, so it's the only way to open it is just by twisting the doorknob and pulling. And my dog still manages to open the door, so he knows how to open doors. So yeah, he's around me 24/7, and then I would expect that because he's so attached to me that when I leave, he goes crazy and has separation anxiety. But it's not the case, honestly. I have a Ring camera that I have set up on the living room, and so every time I leave, I kind of spy on him, and every time he's just laying on the couch like he's never slept before, which is crazy. One of the things that I love the most about the dog is that he has an innate instinct that you can't teach or take out of him to distinguish who's a threat or not. Like, there's been a lot of cases, like for example, I have a grandpa who my dog has never met ever, never even seen him or smelled him. And my grandpa's a big guy, looks kind of mysterious if you're seeing him for the first time, but my dog was able to tell that he wasn't a threat immediately when he was approaching our home. And so that was just crazy to see that he could just see that my grandpa was fine. But then in late night walks, walking around the city, my dog has like a guard mode that kicks in when a stranger walks by or behind me. He starts like getting all alert and posturing up, which is just kind of crazy because that's kind of what you want from a dog like this. They're not aggressive, but they're alert 24/7. My mom likes to say that he has ADHD, but I just say that he's like hyper aware of everything around him. So usually you want your dog, most dogs, like a German Shepherd for example, he's gonna be walking with you, next to you, and you can train him to look directly into your eyes, focus only on you. But with my dog, I wasn't able to train that out of him because my dog's just always aware of his surroundings. Like, he always knows that they're always just noticing even things that I don't notice, like a stranger, I don't know, maybe like a mile away from me, far away. You're left with a super loyal dog that's gonna be active, gonna make you force you to be active, because whether it's throwing the ball for 30 minutes, anything, or long walks up to 2 hours a day, you're gonna have to be active which is just one of the sacrifices you have to make with this dog. Now, what conditions are the Dobermans prone to? Unfortunately, because they are large dogs, they are prone to a couple of main important issues. So number one being dilated cardiomyopathy. Now this is kind of a known condition in a lot of large dog breeds like the Great Danes, Rottweilers, etc. And what it is as it stands, it's a dilated cardiomyopathy, which cardiomyopathy is heart disease. So it's dilated heart disease, or weakened heart because of its dilation. So basically, from diagnosis, you're left. It can get better with treatment, but your dog's most likely not going to survive past 6 months. A lot of dogs just end up dying in their sleep or just walking around or something like that. It's basically heart failure. So yeah, that's tragic. So that's why you have to be an avid owner if you're going to own one of these dogs and get him checked as often as you can. I think the standard time is what's recommended for Dobermans is 1.5 months to get him checked, at least with a stethoscope, just to listen for heart murmurs, whatnot, arrhythmias. So yeah, and other conditions is with large breeds in general, you always at risk for bloat, which is especially concerning for Dobermans. So just to steer clear from that, you just have to feed them 30 minutes after exercise after eating, 2 hours of wait time until he can exercise. And as with other large dog breeds, also joint problems, think cancer, they're prone to cancer, neurological diseases, etc., etc. So for first-time dog owners, I don't know if this is the right dog for you, just because of how much it entails having to own a Doberman with the molding of its ears, the molding for the ears so that they stay up. That's if you choose to crop his ears. If not, then that's one less thing to worry about. And then just how much exercise they require. Like I said, they require either 2 minutes, that can be just walking throughout the day, like let's say 30 minutes of walking split up throughout the day, so that it equates up to 2 hours, or just a 30-minute intense fetch session throughout the day, coupled with I don't know, 10 to 20 minute walk in the evening. That's what I do. I play intense with them about 40 minutes in the morning, fetch, and then I walk with them about 20 minutes in the afternoon, apart from pee breaks throughout the day. Yeah, if you're up to all of that, even if you're a first-time dog owner, I honestly think this is not a bad dog breed, as long as you, like I said, are up to getting up, whether it be 2 hours earlier to get those 2 hours of walking done in the morning, or just having to go on a break from your job or whatever to be able to walk your dog 30 minutes, or just a 30-minute fetch session. So if it sounds like you can meet this dog's demands, then by all means get the dog. You're gonna love it, you're not gonna regret it. I know that there's the whole look that people look for in Dobermans, and yeah, they completely meet that look. And yeah, so if you do end up getting one, just know you're gonna have a super good companion for the next 8 to 14 years. And yeah, that's all, guys. I'm gonna be posting a couple more videos coming up, and yeah, subscribe if you like this video. See you guys.